fourth generation Mini Cooper S is a properly credible hot hatch rather than merely a very quick but fashionable urban trinket. This is the F66 and F65-era model, whose harder-hitting 2-litre engine and a talented chassis deliver plenty of fun as you power to 62 mph in 6.6 seconds to the tune of a blissfully cheeky exhaust note. It's a more mature thing too, better built than any of its rivals, and with a now far more sophisticated cabin. In short, this car has come of age.
The Mini Cooper S has long been an exercise in artful compromise, looking to occupy that sweet spot between the warm-ish Cooper and the wild, race-inspired John Cooper Works model. As a result, it's often been the best pick for those who aren't likely to subject their car to a race circuit and instead just want a Mini that's entertainingly quick without incurring huge running costs in the process. That hasn't changed too much with this fourth generation F66 and F65 era model, but what lies beneath the skin has. True, under the bonnet you'll find much the same 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine as was fitted to the old F56 and F55 era car, but it now puts out a 204 horsepower total that's 25 up on what went before. More importantly perhaps, we're promised a smarter, better finished Mini than before, and one that now seems to have a clear run at the Super Mini based hot hatch genre, now that virtually all of the previous model's key rivals have disappeared. So, whether you choose this car in 3-door guise, or as in this case, in more practical 5-door form, this ought to be many people's ideal expression of go-kart inspired mininess. But is it? Well, to find out, you will, as usual, need the industry's most comprehensive review, the Car and Driving Road Test. Set off behind the wheel, and at first glance, quite a lot seems to have changed with this F66 and F65 era design. The new minimalist cabin is completely different, and the gear selector's been relocated from the centre console to a panel below the new centre screen. What matters though is what lies beneath the bonnet. The same 4-cylinder 2-litre unit as this Cooper S had before, but now blessed with 25 horsepower more, which means 204 horsepower in total. That's 50 horsepower more than the standard Cooper and 300 newton-meters of torque, which translates into 62 miles an hour in 6.6 seconds en route to 150 miles an hour. For reference, that's about the same performance as the all-electric Cooper SE, though this combustion model's top speed is much faster. As the fascia design suggests, Mini's rather sadly decided to no longer offer a manual gearbox option with this generation model. So the previously optional Steptronic 7-speed auto is now non-negotiable, but at least comes in sharp responding sport form, though you'll only get paddles on the steering wheel with top sport trim. One thing this combustion Mini Cooper can offer that the electric version can't quite replicate is really agile handling, because it weighs an awful lot less. This petrol model tips the scales at not much more than 1.2 tonnes, around 400 kilograms lighter than the EV. As with the brand's other current cars, there's a choice of experience drive modes, not many of which have much to do with driving. Select from Core, Green, Go-Kart, Personal, Vibrant, Timeless, Balance and Trail. Those settings, connected to drive features, alter steering feel and gear shift timings, and will also alter ride quality if you get a top sport variant that's fitted with adaptive suspension. It's a pity you can't alter that latter feature separately because, as usual with a Mini, ride quality's on the firm side. Make sure you try on your commuting or school run route before you buy. And perhaps on your favourite back road if you like your driving, where you'll enjoy tremendous traction, feel some steering and the brilliantly balanced chassis. We can understand why Mini didn't want to change it. The Cooper S comes in 3 forms: a 3-door hatch, this 5-door hatch, or as a convertible. Visual differences over the ordinary mild hybrid 1.5 litre 3-cylinder Mini Cooper C are slight, but it's worth noting that all Cooper S models get a minimum wheel size of 17 inches with 18 inches available as an option. As with every Mini, the cabin centrepiece remains a familiar large circular central display, here 9.5 inches in size. With this generation design though, it's not accompanied by a little instrument dial, which you don't really need because most models now get this head-up display. Otherwise, there's nothing to view through the redesigned steering wheel except the new textile trimmed dashboard panel, which stretches away from you towards the rather upright windscreen, changes in colour according to trim, and suits the whole trendy Mini vibe. The minimalist fascia is largely shorn of buttons, and the gear selector has been relocated to a position in a row of toggle switches beneath the central screen. You sit quite low, which adds to the promised sporty feel. There's a strange mixture of both vertical and horizontal fascia vents, and nice little fashion touches like a contrast-coloured tab in front of the passenger, the fabric lower steering wheel spoke, and this branded Mini box between the seats. We mentioned this huge 240mm centre touchscreen, which you're going to have to get to grips with in driving this car, as it controls just about everything. There are shortcut lower buttons, while in the top section power and fuel readouts flank a digital speedo, which sits above a big central section that at the press of the lower home button displays with either dedicated content or rows of little icons. With the dedicated content, you swipe left through phone settings and navigation, mapping, radio, voice control, weather, trip data and an analog clock. The icon screen, meanwhile, gives direct access to lots of individually useful features like Wi-Fi and the Mini Connected Store, plus Alexa and Mini Personal Assistant voice control, which to get to work, you'll have to set up a Mini Connected online user account, then download it to the car. Climate controls are permanently displayed, and by swiping upwards from the bottom edge of the screen, users can access what Mini calls a tool belt, where preferred functions such as frequent destinations and radio stations can be saved for quick access. If you use the wireless phone mirroring setup, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto show as rectangles within the circle, though only the Apple system fills the whole circumference of the round OLED display. Third-party apps like Spotify fit and work on this display, of course, too. And you can also play games on it, like Mattel's classic card game, Uno. Are there issues? Well, yes, a few. Not having an instrument display means you have to keep looking at the central screen for things like indicator activation. It's a pity you only get steering wheel paddles for the auto box with rarely chosen top sport trim. The head-up display takes a chunk out of your view ahead at night, and the chunky A-pillars can sometimes obscure your visibility at junctions. But you sit comfortably and build quality is class-leading. In our view, setting a new standard for Super Minis, which feels good to report on a British-built car. Cabin practicality is a mixed bag. The door bins are almost useless, and this armrest looks like it might conceal some storage space, but it doesn't. Still, there's a decently sized glove box and stowage space by the Mini box between the seats, where you'll also find twin USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket. There are cup holders at the base of the centre stack, below the wireless phone charger most owners will specify. Time to take a look in the back. Inside this 5-door model, it's not quite as cramped as the previous generation model was, and the extra wheelbase length frees up 38mm more legroom than you get in the Cooper 3-door. Even so, if you're above school age, you're still probably going to need some cooperation from those in front if you're not to feel cramped on legroom. Nor does it help that the seat backs don't now recline. They did on the previous generation model. It's actually less claustrophobic back here than we'd expected it might be. These large rear quarter-light windows help considerably with this issue. And if you can stretch to a pack that gives you this twin-pane glass roof, it'll feel airier still. The rear pane equipped with its own individual blind. Despite all of this, you still wouldn't want to be stuck here for a long journey, especially not in the middle, where the unfortunate centre occupants must sit with legs astride this substantial transmission tunnel, made more prominent by its integrated cup holder. The headrests are of the type that dig uncomfortably into your shoulder, until you raise them, but there are seatback pockets, overhead coat hooks, and reasonably sized door bins. Plus, you get these hidden twin USB-C ports, essential for such a media-savvy little car. Okay, we'll finish by taking a look in the boot. It's 275 litres in size in this 5-door model, which is 65 litres more than you'd get in the 3-door variant, but 3 litres less than before and a significant 80 litres smaller than the space on offer in a comparable Volkswagen Polo. This cargo area is a good square shape, so awkwardly shaped items like pushchairs should just about fit, but it's accessed via this rather high loading lip. Fortunately, there's an adjustable height boot floor which can be set at an angle if you're loading in things beneath it. Mini seems to have something against bag hooks and tie-down points, and there's certainly no kind of spare wheel, but there's a boot light and a warning triangle on the inner hatch. Most BMW Group hatches have a convenient 40-20-40 split rear back seat, or at the very least a ski hatch, but not here, when the backrest is folded. Up to 938 litres of space can be freed up. If you want the 2-litre Coupe S version of this Coupe 5-door, the car we're trying here, the price at the time of this review was around £29,000. As we told you in our driving section, you now have to have auto transmission, Mini 7-speed Steptronic box, and unlike with the 3-door hatch model, there's no EV drivetrain option or sporty John Cooper Works version. This Coupe S 5-door ought to be easier to match against rivals than the standard C variant, but there aren't many small Super Mini hot hatches left in this segment these days. The closest option is probably a Volkswagen Polo GTI, which costs around £2,000 more, but would probably be equivalently priced if you spec'd this Mini comparably. This Coupe S uses much the same 2-litre engine as a BMW 123 xDrive, but one of those costs nearly £10,000 more. If it's a Mini Cooper 5-door of some kind you want, then you're going to need to know just how generous Mini's been with standard specs. So let's take a look at that now. What you get depends on your choice between 3 trim levels: Classic, Exclusive, which is what we've got here, and Sport. Standard equipment across the range includes LED headlights, LED tail lamps, auto headlamps and wipers, rear parking sensors, a rear view camera, cruise control, and Mini Experience drive modes. Alloy wheels are standard too, with 16-inch rims on the C version and 17-inch alloys on this S model. And within the asking price, you can choose to have the roof in body colour or in white, or as in this case, in black. Inside, all Coupers get Mini's big, round OLED fascia screen, ambient lighting, 2-zone automatic climate control, a heated steering wheel, and a Mini navigation system. Upholstery is in a cloth and Veskin leatherette combination, available in either black or grey. Roof rails are optional. Mini boasts that this F66 and F65 generation Coupe hatch is one of its most connected cars ever, courtesy of a revised My Mini app. You'll need to sign up to a Mini Connected account, which takes just a couple of minutes to make the most of all its media wizardry. The car's round Mini interaction unit screen comes with built-in Alexa as well, and via the inbuilt personal assistant voice control setup, owners can choose digital depiction of a British bulldog named Spike as their screen avatar of choice. Plus, the infotainment system includes wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Wi-Fi and access to the Mini Connected Store. Third-party apps like Spotify fit into and work on the central screen as well, and you can add a digital key to your chosen spec that will allow you to open your car via your smartphone or even your smartwatch. If you're on a budget and are getting set to settle for that base Classic trim, bear in mind that you'll need to find £2,000 more for the Level 1 equipment pack, which includes quite a few things you might want, specifically adaptive LED headlights, comfort access, keyless entry, power folding mirrors, front heated seats, a high beam assistant, a head-up display, and also dimming rear view mirror and a wireless phone charger. That Level 1 equipment pack is standard with the pricier exclusive and sport trim levels. So is it worth upgrading to those? Well, maybe. With this mid-range exclusive model, you will also get smarter 17-inch U-spoke vibrant silver alloy wheels, a sport steering wheel, an anthracite roofliner, and sport seats in full Veskin faux leather upholstery in nightshade blue or beige. Plus, there's the option of a blue multi-tone roof. If you were wishing that Mini offered this Cooper 5-door in JCW hot hatch form, it's to top sport form that you'll be looking. That gets you adaptive suspension and sport automatic DCT transmission. And a much more dynamic look and feel with John Cooper Works Sprint bespoke black 17-inch wheels and John Cooper Works sport seats with Veskin and cord combination black upholstery. Chili Red 2 paint is standard at this level, plus there's the option of exterior sport stripes. What about options across the range? Well, with all Cooper 5-doors, you can add a Level 2 pack that includes a Harman Kardon surround sound audio system, a panoramic glass sunroof, and sun protection glass. And you could further upgrade to Mini's Level 3 pack, which includes power adjustable front seats with memory settings, an active driver's seat, more detailed augmented reality navigation, and an interior camera that records theft break-ins and can allow you to send journeying pictures to your friends via social media. With the Level 3 pack, you also get the brand's parking assistant, plus 360-degree camera system, which you can remote link into via your smartphone. And you get the Driving Assistant Plus pack's active cruise control system with a stop-and-go function, which virtually drives this Mini for you at highway speeds. Away from packs, bear in mind that unless you order this car in its only standard colour, melting silver 3, you're going to be paying Mini more for your choice of paint finish. On to safety provision. Now, this F66 and F65 generation Mini Cooper has been rated a top 5 stars by Euro NCAP. At a minimum, all Cooper 5-doors come with the contents of Mini's Driving Assistant pack. This includes forward collision warning with brake intervention, lane keep assist, blind spot detection, rear collision prevention, and vehicle exit warning. There's driver monitoring too, and thankfully, unlike some rival systems, it's not too intrusive. Talking of intrusive features, we were pleased to find that the mandatory traffic sign recognition run speed limit assist chime could be easily turned off via a long press of the cruise control set button. The efficiency figures are 44.8 mpg on the combined cycle and 142 grams per kilometre of CO2 for this Cooper S. To get anywhere near these figures, you'll need to drive most permanently in the Mini Experience Green Drive mode. That green setting modifies throttle and transmission response and tweaks the standard gear shift point display. It also includes a so-called coasting function, where at high cruising speeds the drivetrain is temporarily decoupled for extra frugality when you come off the accelerator. What else? Well, residual values are bound to be strong. They always have been. And you can expect your Mini hatch to have retained just over half its value at the 3-year or 60,000 mile point. As expected, there's the normal 3-year unlimited mileage warranty with the usual BMW style variable service indicators. Beyond that, there's an optional extended Mini insured warranty available that can cover you for up to 100,000 miles and can also be specified to apply to particular components like the clutch, the engine or the gearbox. We can all argue about whether or not this generation Cooper S is as pretty a car as its predecessor, but there can be no doubt that it's a better all-rounder. It's more sophisticated, better built, features some fascinating technical features, and seems to have been engineered to offer more driving fun on one hand and lower bills on the other. Which is welcome news because with the demise of the Fiesta ST and the Hyundai i20N, there really aren't now too many options if you want a small shopping rocket that isn't an EV. Whether you order it with 3 or 5 doors, this Cooper S is a Mini to the max, and that's always a tempting thing.